So we're currently facing the aftermath of US 2024 general elections, and as we know, President-elect Donald Trump is all over the place. We are hearing some of his initiatives and policies he intends to put in order once he's been sworn in office. And people have already started expressing their views over this. But up until the issue of Kamala Harris, who was also a representative for the Democrats and then stood in for the elections and competed with Donald Trump, but unfortunately for her, she couldn't win the hearts of the people of US to vote her and make her the first female president of US. Currently, a lot of issues are popping up concerning Kamala Harris, right from her campaign to the day the elections were held. And then there have been a lot of issues coming up concerning the debt that she had incurred from her campaign. Let's go watch this video. We'll give you more update.
For all you people who voted for Harris, I just got a question for you. So the campaign's over and she's basically negative $20 million. She raised over $1 billion and she mismanaged her money so much that she's minus $20 million. She spent it on celebrities, apparently Oprah, all these crazy things. But bottom line is you voted for this person, and I hope that now you can see that they were a bad choice. If they can't manage a measly $1 billion, how do you think they're going to manage $2, $3, $4 billion or even $1 trillion or even our deficit? Or how do you think they're going to be able to balance any kind of budget? If you don't have someone who understands money in the White House, you will fail. And like, this is a great example. This is the perfect example of why she should have never been in the position she was in. She was not qualified to be in that position. So I just hope you guys see that, because this could have been a complete, utter disaster with her being in office. And these are just facts.
So that is an update concerning Kamala Harris' debt that she has incurred after her campaign for the 2024 general elections in the United States of America. Currently, this has got a lot of people talking and then sharing their views and opinion on the fact that she was unqualified in the first place to be elected or selected by the Democrats to run for the office of the presidency.
And the funny thing is, this is just one of the many videos which have even popped up. There is a video also that we'll be watching, and this came from Fox News, where they broke down how these celebrities, remember during the campaign, we saw the likes of Oprah, Eminem, Lizzo, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B. Apparently, all of these people were paid. Okay, at a point in time, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, that's the ex-husband of Ben Affleck, the woman who have married for about 5 times. Okay, she's married and married. She's even the ex-boyfriend of Diddy. It's the ex-girlfriend of Diddy. Of Diddy. The guy who has been hit with many sexual assaults and is currently in jail. And all of these guys mounted the stage and they were crying. At a point in time, there was this J-Lo speech. She was crying, and apparently all of these people were being paid and bought for. And they just stood on stage to act. And then I'm just happy that the American people saw through these people that, hey, these guys are not authentic. These guys are not people that we should be following. These guys are not people that we should, be looking at them as role models, because behind closed doors, they've been paid and bought for. Now, this video we will be watching in a minute confirms exactly what some of us have been suspecting from the onset. And it shows that apparently Oprah Winfrey. Now, yesterday, Oprah Winfrey, TMZ got closer to her, and they asked her, Oprah, have you been paid $1 million or were you paid $1 million to endorse Kamala Harris? She said no. And apparently, people pulled receipts, because in the US, we have something we call FEC, and basically they are some sort of an organization that perhaps monitor the spending of political parties. So they pulled receipts because the Kamala Harris campaign had filed account or perhaps for auditing purpose with the FEC or FCC. And then shows that Oprah Winfrey's company by the name Harpo received $500,000 in 2 batches, making $1 million. Then yesterday night she came, oh, it's not true. It was just my campaign because people were just working. If it was your company, you could have literally said, hey, this is the Democratic Party. I want to be part of it. I'm part of it. I want to help. This is my small token. Because people were pouring in millions of dollars. Kamala Harris is the only person in history to have raised over $1 billion. $1 billion. And yes, so she finished her campaign and then she ended up with a net deficit. And then I remember someone posting on Twitter and saying that, hey, it's like Americans kind of dodge a bullet. Well, I can't really attest to that one, but let's watch this particular video. When we come back, we'll give you more.
Over these numbers, $10 million for Beyonce to step up and back Kamala Harris publicly, $5 million for Megan Thee Stallion, $3 million for Lizzo, $1.8 million for Eminem. I mean, is that normally how it goes? You spend $20 million, you get yourself in debt to try to get a bunch of rich celebrities on stage? I'd never seen that. Maybe I'm ignorant of the fact, but wow. Over these numbers, $10 million.
So that is it. So you could see that a lot of celebrities had their names being mentioned: Beyonce, Cardi B, Oprah Winfrey, and the rest. And this shows how some of these politicians tend to prioritize some of our celebrities and then use them as bait in order to win the hearts of citizens, because most of the celebrities have got huge fan base and huge followers following them. So with this, that tells us clearly that they knew what they were doing from the onset. And then this question just popped up.
Yeah.
Was it wrong for the Democrats to choose Kamala Harris in the first place as a flag bearer for the party?
It was wrong if they did not organize any fair competition. I remember where I used to work. I was working at a certain company, and then we've been working there for almost 3 to 4 years. And then the boss just came and organized a meeting. You know, every morning we do a meeting, or perhaps we have a meeting with all the management, have a meeting with the staff to brief us about the day's activities, and also to recount on what we did yesterday, latest updates, and perhaps upcoming changes. And when one of those days, the supervisor just came and said, hey, there's an opening. It was the assistant manager. There's an opening for job, or there's an opening for positions. It's 2 supervisory positions. During my time, we used to call it 2 ICs. Okay. And then they said, everyone here is qualified, okay, but then from now till a certain time, we'll be looking at what you do, how you do your work, and perhaps based on your past inputs and everything, we'll compute everything together and we'll use it to judge you. So the problem with the Democrat Party is it's not that Kamala Harris was a failed candidate or perhaps wasn't the right choice. It was because she was not given the chance to prove her competency. Okay, so Joe Biden steps down, and they just takes her and just drop her into the race. And, you know, a person like Donald Trump is not an easy contender. There's this particular picture which surfaced during Kamala Harris' campaign. She looks stressed in the Air Force One. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah.
She looks super stressed because the 80-year-old man you are running against, even though he does not take drugs, he doesn't drink alcohol and all of that, he is a person who never gives up. I mean, they shoot at you and you get up and pump your fist in the air. You are going up against that person. You need to be. So the Democrats' problem was they did not bring their best game. And even if Kamala Harris was a person who was ultimately perhaps the choice, she should have fought her way through. There were many people who also wanted to be on the ballot. So they should have created an open competition, an open primary, just like what the Republicans did. The Republicans gave everyone a choice. Even though Trump stands to be the nominee, let's give everybody a choice. There were people who were bashing Trump, who were on stage saying, I want to be president. They were his former allies. All of these people wanted to be president, and they shared the same stage. And ultimately, Trump proved that, hey, he is the person who is still in the game, and he is the competent person who can go against the Democrats and win. And that is the end result we are saying. But the Democrats just handpicked Kamala Harris and just dropped her in the presidency box. Say, hey, this is it. And at a point in time, you know, Kamala Harris, proud to this, she was the worst performing vice president in history.
Okay.
Ratings and everything. So when the Democrats handpicked her, and they dropped her in, all of a sudden she was the darling of the night. And Kamala Harris is Jamaican. And Kamala Harris, she fights for women's rights. And Kamala Harris, she's an abortion expert. Kamala Harris, she fights for the border. Kamala Harris, oh sweet Kamala Harris. And you see these, I don't want to use the word woke, but these media outlets, the Time, the Vogue, Rolling Stone, and they'll put a cover, the picture on the cover of their page. The woman who is ready to change the world, the astute woman, Kamala Harris, an epitome of an exemplary whatever for women. Kamala Harris, the woman is going to change American history, and you were ignoring the sentiments of the base. People. The base is that people are saying we are suffering. The sentiments that people are saying that we are not getting to buy food, we are not getting to. The basic groceries, basic and amenities, everything have shot up. We are not comfortable, and worst of all, we are in the middle of two wars. Okay, this is a woman who is the vice president, and she's not giving us a clear path to solve the Russia-Ukraine war. Wow. The Russia-Ukraine war has been going on for 4 years. Are you guys crazy? Why don't you end this war? There's no clear path. And anytime you see Kamala Harris talking about Ukraine war, we are going to arm Ukraine, we're going to give $100 billion to Ukraine. This, to me, does not make sense. People's life
are in danger.
People are dying. Children, properties. Now, Ukraine. I mean, if you watch some of the drone shots from Ukraine, it's more like a deserted war zone.
Yeah.
First, when you are going to Europe, or when you want to travel to Europe, if you are looking at destinations, it is Greece, Ukraine, Athens. Now, Ukraine can't be part, all because of this senseless war. So we need a stop to this war. But then what we saw was that Kamala Harris and his government and their government were just fueling it. Hey, we will fund Ukraine. There's nothing wrong in funding Ukraine for them to support themselves. But then we need these innocent lives to which have been lost to stop. Now, October 7th attack last year, okay, which happened to Israelis whilst a concert was going on. It's something which is very sad. I mean, some of our local musicians and even those in Nigeria
had themselves involved.
They were nearly part, or their lives were nearly taken in this assault. It is sad. But at the end of the day, we've had so much bombardment from the Israelis, on the Palestinians, and also Hamas. And in this case of retaliation, innocent lives have been lost. Let us not sit here and tickle ourselves and laugh. Every war, the cost of war is lives and property. So ultimately, even if you want to end the war, even if you want to make a statement, ultimately, some lives to be lost, some properties to be lost. I'm talking about your military, I'm talking about some government officials, I'm talking about the citizens, women, and especially children. It happens. But then it's been 1 year. What is the way forward? Okay, and statistics shows that Hamas, which is a militia backed by the some extreme Islamist group, they are being fueled or being paid and sponsored by Iran. During Trump's time, Iran was hand-tied because Trump had hit them so much sanctions that they were not, they couldn't turn left or right to finance these kind of Islamist extremists such as Hamas. But then when Trump left power, most of these Iranian or Iran sanctions, they were lifted, giving the Iranians, opportunity to hand pick or to scoop some of the money or investment that had been locked up, and they use it to finance these things. So, in as much as these things are happening, we need people to stop this war. When you watch pictures and videos on Al Jazeera, BBC, and CNN, innocent children are dying. There was this one particular video I watched. A child, a baby, both legs were being blown off. You think that's nice? That is not nice. So we need to stop these things. They are innocent mothers and women who, imagine they tell you to head north. You are heading north, the north is being bombarded. You are heading south, south is being, so they don't know anywhere. And even the place that they are supposed to stay, which is a safe haven, that place is even bombarded.
Yeah.
You'll be there, then boom, you realize what happened at the hospital. There was a hospital.
Yeah.
Look, these things are not supposed to happen. So clearly, Kamala Harris, unfortunately, she's our fellow black sister, but then this is not about race. This is not about a woman. This is not about a man. This is about a person who can do the job. If Kamala Harris can do the job, let her do it. Unfortunately, she's proven, and based on this depth, she's proven she can't do the job. She's proving she can't do the job. You had over $1 billion. That is almost like 1/10 of a country's GDP. And you ended up in debt. And you just scooped money, $20 million, $10 million to people for them to come and twerk on stage. Have you seen Megan Thee Stallion in blue dancing and twerking on stage? Have you seen those?
Yeah.
This guy is crazy. And these are donors, middle class donors. You send them a panicking mail. Hey, donate to the Harris Fund. Let's fight Trump. Let's restore our democracy. And they'll send $20. And then you use this same money and give it to celebrities. Eminem was preaching about love, free speech. Meanwhile, he was being paid and bought for. Cardi B was crying. Meanwhile, she was being paid and bought for. Okay, Lizzo was saying blah 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 blah. She was being paid and bought for. J-Lo was crying, giving a poetry speech, and then Latinos and then Puerto Ricos. I knew immediately J-Lo got on stage. I knew this was going to end well for the Democrats. This woman has been married 4 times. 4 times. Everything ends in divorce. And funny enough, all the people who apparently, I don't know the word to use, but all the people who apparently endorsed Kamala, all of them had made wrong choices. Let's look at Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift had dated over 16 men. All of them ended in heartbreak. And then she used these kind of heartbreaks to come out with an album.
Songs, yeah.
So when she endorsed Kamala, people say, hey, don't worry. 80 or 90% of Taylor Swift songs is about choosing the wrong candidate. And perhaps people saw through her. And when J-Lo came into the picture, and J-Lo also said, hey, let's endorse Kamala, people said, don't worry. This is a lady who have married 4 times and has failed. So let's be rest assured she's just crying for the wrong person. And apparently this is the end result. But all those jokes aside, I just want to congratulate Donald Trump. And I think he's going to make us proud. And I think he's going to be an exemplary leader, not just for Americans, but also for,
the world.
We Africans, okay? Because there are some people who look up to him. I'm not talking in terms of his rhetoric and all of those things, but in terms of his fears, willing to fight for the working class. And also, Trump, people view Trump as a person who stands for truth. And then we are just hoping that this particular second term, America will bounce back. These senseless, stupid wars will stop. Lives will be saved. And then, as he has been saying, common sense will prevail. So this is exactly what we are expecting.
All right, so this is the details of Kamala Harris in debt after her campaign and raising $1 billion US, but still incurred some debt. And people are saying this is a bad omen because coming from someone that wants to be a president of the United States of America and cannot manage money but rather mismanage funds, it's a very, very, very red flag for the people of US. We're going to give you more update on the issues of Kamala Harris and the US. Stay tuned with us.